From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Malacañang suspended government work and classes in all levels in the National Capital Region or NCR and Calabarzon on Tuesday due to the ongoing effects of Tropical Storm Enteng. Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin confirmed the work and classes suspension in a text message to Palace reporters on Monday evening. Private schools are included in the suspension. The suspension of work in private companies and offices is left to the discretion of their respective heads. The tropical cyclone, according to the Philippine Atmospheric Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration or PAGASA, will continue to head northwestward or northward over Cagayan Valley or Northern Cordillera Administrative Region or CAR before turning west-northwestward over the Babuyan Channel by Tuesday. Enteng is seen to maintain tropical storm category during its traverse of mainland northern Luzon, with further intensification likely to occur from Tuesday late evening onwards. Pagasa said the enhanced southwest monsoon or habagat will bring moderate to intense rainfall in other areas of Luzon and Visayas over the next 3 days. Earlier, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. assured that the government is prepared and closely monitoring the situation on the ground as Tropical Storm Enteng drenches much of Luzon and parts of Visayas. In a media interview in Malacañang, the president said the government already has a template that agencies and local government units or LGUs are following to respond to the needs of the people, adding that necessities and equipment have been deployed in advance. As for the announcement of class and work suspension, the chief executive vowed to issue advisories as early as possible.
The main element here is we are monitoring kung ano ba talaga ang weather situation and of course yung flooding. Pero so far yung problema yung hangin, malakas ang hangin. But unfortunately, pag tinitignan natin yung mga forecast, baka mas lalakas pa bukas dito sa Manila bago aakyat, tatawid ng Cagayan bago mag-head ng north. So we are watching it. Ang tinitignan lang natin sa eskwela, siyempre iba, the LGUs also make the LGUs make their own decision with that, except if there is a region-wide assessment na hindi pwedeng pumasok. Sa trabaho naman, ang tinitignan lang namin ay kung makapunta yung mga empleyado natin makapasok at makauwi. Importante yung makauwi. Kasi mahirap pag ma-stranded sila dun sa kanilang pinagtatrabahuan. So that's what we are watching now. And we're prepared for the aftermath of all of this. As usual, nag-forward placement na tayo ng mga pangangailangan. We will just have to wait for the weather to see what it will do. Hopefully, umiwas sa atin, but even if it does not, we have all the elements in place to support our people na magiging mahihirapan dahil nga dito sa naging bagyong Enteng. So we are just watching it, and we will try to adjust. We leave a lot of the decision making to the LGUs and to the regional offices because iba-iba ang sitwasyon. So, but as we go on to the rest of the day, wala nang trabaho ngayon, we will see. We will try to give the bulletin as early as possible for work and school tomorrow. Ang instruction ko sa kanila, kung maaari, bago tayo matulog, alam na natin kung may pasok bukas o hindi para makapag-adjust naman yung mga tao.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday called on the Moro National Liberation Front, or MNLF, and other stakeholders in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or BARM, to ensure a peaceful and credible parliamentary election. During the opening ceremony for the 2024 National Peace Consciousness Month and the commemoration of the 28th anniversary of the 1996 Final Peace Agreement with the MNLF at Malacañang Palace in Manila, the President said the forthcoming election is an important reminder not only of the democracy but also of the visionaries who paved the way for the freedom that the country relishes today. The first parliamentary election in BARM will be held simultaneously with the May 12, 2025 midterm elections. The BARM covers Maguindanao del Sur, Maguindanao del Norte, Lanao del Sur, Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi, and the cities of Lamitan, Marawi, and Cotabato. The region was created in 2019 through Republic Act, or RA 11054, or the Bangsamoro Organic Law, which was enacted after the signing of a peace agreement between the government and the Moro rebels. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
It is fitting that as we open the National Peace Consciousness Month, we also mark the 20th anniversary of the 1996 Final Peace Agreement with the Moro National Liberation Front. This momentous occasion brings us back to a defining chapter in our history, when the government and the MNLF formally ended the decades-long struggle. From the forging of the 1976 Tripoli Agreement under my father's administration to the signing of the 1996 Final Peace Agreement, we have demonstrated mutual respect and strong collaboration and a burning desire for peace. In our broader quest for peace, we have also engaged other stakeholders in helping us forge a path towards meaningful autonomy for the Bangsamoro. In 2014, the comprehensive agreement of the Bangsamoro was signed. The journey was long and it was difficult. Negotiations sometimes stalled, and there were occasions of very difficult areas of impasse. However, our fervor and determination for lasting peace has endured. Through continuous conversations, concessions, compromise, we finally signed the Bangsamoro Organic Law in 2018. The BOL is a testament to the value of peace for Filipinos. It enshrines the hopes and the dreams of the Bangsamoro people through the creation of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. The negotiations and peace talks took years and brought out a number of disagreements. Nonetheless, we persevered and came through for the sake of healing and for reconciliation, for the betterment of our fellow Filipinos in Mindanao and of all Filipinos in the Philippines. Not only did our efforts lead to peace, it also resulted in increased investments, generated more employment, helped lower the poverty incidence in BARM. I extend my gratitude to the men and women of the MNLF, under the leadership of Chair Nur Miswari and Chair Muslimin Sema, for your steadfast commitment as natural allies of this administration, and of course, as our brothers, our partners and sisters in peace. Let me recognize your support in our anti-terrorism campaign, particularly in the provinces of Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi, where insurgency was among its foremost concerns. We also acknowledge our international partners. We would not have progressed this far without your help, without your guidance. Rest assured that you can depend on this administration to implement all signed peace agreements for the security, the inclusive progress, and stability not only in Mindanao, but throughout our country. The peace processes with former revolutionary organizations such as the MILF, Cordillera Bodong Administration, Cordillera People's Liberation Army, and the Revolucionaryong Partido ng Manggagawa ng Pilipinas, Revolutionary Proletarian Army, Alex Bongcayo Brigade, Tabara Paduano Group, now known as Kapatiran, are now in the advanced stages of implementation. We are also implementing the transformation program, which aims to uplift the socio-economic conditions of MNLF combatants and their families, and communities as well. In the spirit of convergence, I urge you to continue working with all stakeholders in the region towards accountable, transparent, and people-centered in governance in the region. We are likewise encouraging you to engage in a continuing open and constructive exchange and dialogue with government and its instrumentalities to discuss the experiences and challenges of our people in Mindanao so that we can provide responsive policies to serve you. I also call on the MNLF and other stakeholders of BARM to ensure a peaceful and orderly and credible conduct of the first Bangsamoro elections next year. The forthcoming election is an important reminder, not only of the democracy that empowers us to mold our destinies, but also of the visionaries who paved the way for the freedom that we all relish today. This landmark, the election of the members of parliament that will occur next year, is as important a landmark as the signing of all of the peace agreements. This will now not only formalize, not only institutionalize, but actually operationalize BARM's part in the national government. And that is a very, very important landmark, a very, very important part of our peace agreement. That will be the day when we can say that we have recognized the autonomy of BARM, and BARM has also recognized its membership into the fold of society within the national government. And that is an important conclusion to any peace effort. With peace and understanding now firmly rooted in our communities during this year's celebration of the National Peace Consciousness Month, let us now focus on the transformation of a country towards a more inclusive, peaceful, and progressive society. Peace begins within us. It flourishes the moment that we strip ourselves of the idea of us versus them, promote respect for our fellows, uphold everyone's dignity. We can only promote peace if we cultivate the foundations, the conditions, the necessary environment for it to thrive and prosper in every corner of our society. So my fellow Filipinos, the dividends of the peace that we have worked so hard to achieve are now upon us. And the responsibility to create a more inclusive and prosperous country now lies in our hands. For us to move forward as a strong, undivided nation, the government will continue to pursue a principled and peaceful resolution to internal armed conflicts with neither blame nor surrender, but with dignity for all. Together, let us build a more secure and dignified Bagong Pilipinas, where no one is neglected, where no one feels helpless, most importantly, where no one lives in fear.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has called on the youth to take part in the nationwide coastal cleanup and conservation activities as the country commemorates Maritime and Archipelagic Nation Awareness Month, or MANAMO, this September. In a video message posted on social media by the Maritime Industry Authority, or MARINA, on Monday, the president said the Philippines is fortunate and blessed with vast maritime and archipelagic resources that can be utilized for the benefit of all Filipinos. The chief executive noted that this year's MANAMO celebration is a clarion call to raise greater consciousness on maritime and archipelagic concerns, as well as to engage Filipinos in protecting the nation's maritime interests and resources from various threats. September is declared Maritime and Archipelagic Nation Awareness Month through Proclamation number 316 series of 2017, which synchronized the celebration of all maritime-related events and activities in a single month to increase awareness and appreciation for the Philippines' vast maritime and archipelagic nature. As a maritime and archipelagic country, the Philippines is composed of more than 7,000 islands with more than 14,000 coastal communities highly dependent on marine resources for living. Let us listen to the message of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Join the entire Filipino nation in the observance of the Maritime and Archipelagic Nation Awareness Month. Our country is fortunate and blessed with vast maritime and archipelagic resources that can be utilized for the benefit of our people. As stewards of this incredible gift, it is incumbent upon us to preserve and develop these resources to their fullest potential. This year's celebration of MANAMO is a clarion call to raise greater consciousness on maritime and archipelagic concerns, as well as to engage our people in protecting our maritime interests and resources from various threats. As this important occasion also coincides with the observance of Fish Conservation Week, International Coastal Cleanup Day, and National Maritime Day, I encourage everyone, especially our youth, to support and to join the countrywide coastal cleanup and conservation activities. Everything starts from each of us, and with all of us working together, we will soon harvest the fruits of our hard work and realize a sustainable and greener future for everyone to enjoy. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, a total of 48,000 families, or 183,582 individuals, have been affected by the strong rains and flood due to the southwest monsoon, or Hamagat, and Typhoon Enteng. This is according to the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, Disaster Response Operations Monitoring and Information Center. These are from 446 villages in the National Capital Region, or NCR, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, Bicol, Central Visayas, and Eastern Visayas. According to the DSWD, the number of families staying at evacuation centers have risen to 2,930, or about 12,110 individuals, while 5,744 families are temporarily staying with their relatives. In relation to this, the DSWD continues to provide assistance to affected local government units, or LGUs. Among provided were family food packs to areas greatly affected by the calamity. In its latest data, the DSWD has distributed a total of 9.4 million pesos worth in relief assistance.
Dateline Malacañang.
Meanwhile, the Philippines Department of Health, or DOH, reminded the public to avoid wading through flood waters and to wash with soap and clean water if doing so cannot be avoided. This as a total of 3,785 leptospirosis cases were recorded nationwide from January 1st to August 17th, 5% higher compared to the 3,605 cases reported in the same period last year. The tally included the increase in leptospirosis cases following the floods brought by Super Typhoon Karina and the enhanced southwest monsoon in July. In a statement Monday, the DOH said, from July 7th to the 20th, only 251 cases were recorded. This went up almost 5 times to 1,184 from July 21st to August 3rd during the height of Typhoon Karina and enhanced monsoon floods, but have gone down to 699 cases between August 4th to the 17th. DOH said epidemiologists anticipate that without proper precautions like prophylaxis, the number of cases will most likely go up again due to floods brought about by Tropical Storm Enteng. Individuals experiencing symptoms such as high temperature, headache, colds, diarrhea, body aches and pains, red eyes, loss of appetite, are advised to consult a doctor immediately. Price freeze from medicines including doxycycline is still implemented in areas hit by Karina until September 23rd.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippine military has increased air and naval patrols in the Escoda Shoal amid the growing number of Chinese ships in the area. In a radio interview Monday, Philippine Navy spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, or WPS, Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad said, "This is to support the law enforcement operations of the Philippine Coast Guard or PCG ship BRP Teresa Magbanwa, which has been standing guard in the Escoda Shoal since April." Trinidad added that BRP Teresa Magbanwa is standing guard alone there because there are reports of crushed corals being piled in the area. The Navy spokesperson said they are maintaining presence in the area to make sure that the crushed corals were not man-made. Trinidad meanwhile said there is still no need to deploy more assets to the Escoda Shoal, as this can be done by one ship, aircraft, or even fishermen passing through the area. As of Sunday, Trinidad said there are 3 China Coast Guard or CCG vessels, 2 People's Liberation Army Navy ships, 1 Chinese hospital vessel, 1 research ship, and 47 maritime militia vessels in Escoda Shoal ranged against the BRP Teresa Magbanwa. On Saturday, the PCG ship was damaged after being repeatedly rammed by CCG vessels while attempting to loiter around Escoda Shoal. The BRP Teresa Magbanwa was able to return to Escoda Shoal later in the day without any injuries to its crew.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service is heard over the following shortwave frequencies: 15.640 MHz, 17.820 MHz, and 12.010 MHz. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel at Radyo Pilipinas World Service. You will be able to hear and view our Filipino and English programs, including news updates here in the Philippines. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our posts as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.